Longtime Browns beat reporter Tony Grossi with what he's seen from Dillon Gabriel from the first three starts.
What do you make of Dillon Gabriel after these 3 games? He's 1-2.
He's not losing the games. Even, the Pittsburgh game was a collaborative effort. Everybody played horribly there. He didn't lose the game against Minnesota in London, and he didn't lose this game. That's the first step, all right? I mean, after all those turnovers from Winston to Flacco, those whatever number of games there were in a row, that's the first thing you have to do is stop turning the ball over and then run the ball and then expand from there. I mean, it's only his 3rd NFL game, and he'll play off of it. I thought he did okay. They didn't lose.
You know what? Okay is a fair assessment. Here's the question I have, though. What can you do if you're Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Rees, whomever, to open up the offense more? What can you add to it?
Well, I don't think when you go down, I just got done watching the film a bunch of times today, which was kind of nice. The thing is, he has some openings that he's not quite seeing yet. And I think, if you go back to what he is, part of his strength is kind of understanding what he's seeing. And the amount of hatred that he and Shedeur Sanders gets is just unbelievable. Shedeur is a guy, he's never played, and Dillon's played 12 quarters. So both of these guys, who I'm both high on both for different reasons, but this is what Dillon's got to do. He's got to go back, watch that film, and say, oh, here's where I missed some. So the good thing is they don't have to change the offense. He's just got to take advantage of those shots when they're there for him, because he's missed a number of them. Now, he's made some really good throws, and I agree with Tony. He protected the football. And when you protect the football, you have a chance to win every game. And I'll be honest with you. If you give me the Vikings scenario for the next 10 weeks, I'll take it every time. The other team has to go 80 yards against that defense to win. If you stop them, you win the game. You'll take that every time with that. That's your alphas. That's your best unit this year. So that's what you live with. And once again, he's protecting the ball. Now, the argument that he has to stretch the ball, those are all real arguments. But you do what you have to do within that game to win. You don't worry about next week. You don't worry about the week before. What do you have to do to win that game? And he did enough to win that game. If next week's not enough, then you address it. This week it was, you move forward.
What did you see that they added to the passing game against the Dolphins? And what would be the next progression, do you think?
Well, he's like you said, they run that levels concept out of a bunch of different ways. And I think one thing you got to do is you got to change the launch point. So get them out on the edge, allow them to have some easy reads. Those level concepts are pretty much the same for all coverages. He had a couple crossing routes, mesh, where you're going to get guys crossing in front of him with a route behind it. He missed the rail route, that one to Ford on the outside. So it's taking the easy, always take what they give you. You never pass up a free meal in the NFL. If they give you the underneath stuff, you take it. But as this stuff starts getting taken away, understand that the next level usually is going to be open. So for him, it's just getting to that next level. Not always, you got to trust the protection. You got to trust that the run game is going to stay consistent, because then you'll start getting open windows, because they're going to have to start opening, walking guys up to take away that run. So going back to the gap scheme in the run is going to help him. Being ahead is going to help him. The defense creating turnovers is going to help him. So he's a quarterback that's going to need some help. So is Shedeur. So is all these guys right now. They don't have a lot of weapons on offense, so they have to do it as a team. And the big thing is protect the football. Protect the football, you're going to have a chance in every game. That's just the way that's a simple rule. If you can protect the football, you probably have a chance, especially with a schedule moving forward. So that would be your first thing. And then, where are those built-in shots that you've missed that hopefully you've learned from and now you can see them?
So they got Corley involved. That was a really nice bubble type screen, middle type screen. You saw him a couple more out. The other thing is the bootleg. You saw a bootleg where it was like nobody home, so he kept it. Where is the bootleg where there's guys dragging across? Where have those been, do you think? Is it a matter of they're not blocking well enough?
No, that's because they haven't been running very many gap schemes or wide zone. They've been running duo and inside zone. So the setup off those is the wide zone or the counter or the power, all the pin and pull, all the things that they ran this week. Now you have those things set up. So they haven't been running a lot of that. That's why he dropped back 52 times and there wasn't a lot of movement. The run game didn't set that up. Now the run game has set that up with this week's success with power, counter, pin, and pull. Now you could do those things, and now you can find those next levels. So that's the first thing. And you have a tailback that when you run those things, he's pretty good when he gets in space. So that's where it comes from. It comes from those things off the run game. You go back to that screen with Corley. What people don't understand, what I thought was really cool from Kevin, is that he had both Sampson and Junkins in the game at one time. He motioned Junkins out, and then he motioned Sampson out, and then he threw the screen underneath. That's really well designed, using your best players to try to create some window dressing for some other guys. So really well done by Kevin and his staff, trying to figure out ways to move the ball, defensively trying to figure out ways to turn the ball over. Give them credit. Hopefully they move forward. This is a better football team than 2-5. They got to get better on offense, and they'll have a chance to win a lot of football games.